Everybody, it's me, Amaz the Storyteller, back at you with a brand new video. And today we will be talking about the infamous Bigfoot, the bipedal hairy monster himself living in the woods surrounding Mount St. Helens. The mountain that blew apart in the 1940s, nearly killing every single natural habitat surrounding it. It was so devastating, half the mountain collapsed in on itself, causing an implosion inside the mountain, creating natural disasters beyond our comprehension previously. However, what I want to talk about today is what could have came about that shift in ecology and bring us this beautiful ape-like creature. Oh yeah, no, that's a fat chick. Let's get talking about Bigfoot, the Sasquatch itself. What is about this magnificent creature that draws our attention into the main media sources? Well, I think it's the concept of there being a cross between an ape and a human, hence evolution. Evolution is this magical word that bridges two species and mashes them together as one. Oh goody! As you can see, I'm being sarcastic, of course, because evolution is a theory. Nothing more, nothing less. Theory, okay? Get it out of your skulls, it's scientifically proven, you Nazis. No, I'm just kidding. If you believe in evolution, great. If you don't believe in evolution, great. I don't know. I am not versed enough, nor am I educated enough on the subject to give you one way or another the facts about it. But I think that's what makes this so interesting. This could be the credible source to prove evolution exists. And if this creature truly still does exist, one way or another, I think it's interesting. I think the concept that there is an ape that is purely bipedal and even has some human attributes to it, some even human characteristics as well. I think that's really, really cool. Now, Bigfoot itself is interesting because of the story that came about from this photograph. I don't know if this is the original photograph, but a lot of people said at the time it was taken, it was a gorilla-suited man. A man in a gorilla suit. I don't know. The picture is so old. It was from 1966, I want to say. And there wasn't a whole lot of information about it. The man who took the photo says to this day that it is 100% real. He was out in the woods of Mount St. Helens. He was in Washington, and he captured a picture of this beast. At first, he called it, like the Native American folks called it, Sasquatch. The mythical beast that's bipedal, amazing, whatever. What I'm more interested about is its ecology, how it could possibly survive around the thick nature surrounding Mount St. Helens. Mount St. Helens itself is interesting because some people say it gives off this high-tempoed frequency that allows humans to stay away from it and nature to stay inside of it, almost like a perimeter that's protected by the mountain. And I think that's just freaking cool. I don't know if this is proven or not, but who knows? Because from what I understand, it's a national park now, so I mean, that makes sense. A lot of people tend to put in their own voodoo magic to some of this crazy stuff. But could Bigfoot really exist? And I would say yes. I think there's enough food out there for a Bigfoot to exist out there. As far as what Bigfoot is, if it truly is the missing link between humans and monkeys, then absolutely the food sources would be abundant there for its diet. It would be omnivorous, so it would eat meat and vegetables, as well as everything in between. So, I mean, it could survive off of insects, plants, animals, so many different things, because really, humans are the ultimate species for adaptation. And if this truly was the in-between a monkey and a human, absolutely, it could adapt to anything. It could eat everything. It would be just fine. It may even be so advanced compared to gorillas that it could actually use tools. It could use tools to survive. I believe there's even stories out there of these beasts using tools and using them in the wild. So absolutely, could this exist in that environment and ecology? Yes. How would it mess up though? Well, it wouldn't necessarily dominate the food chain because it's an omnivore, right? If it was more of a predator, like a bear, then it would make sense for there not to be any kind of carnivorous creature out there in the woods, right? Because if you've got the big bad monkey ape thing, the predators would stay away from that area because it would be eaten, right? So, naturally speaking, yes, this could exist in that ecology. It could thrive in that ecology. It could even have family in that ecology if there's more than one, which from what I read there are. Now, what is the difference between Bigfoot, Sasquatch, skunk ape, and Yeti? Well, predominantly, from what I understand, it's really just, for Sasquatch and Yeti, it's the hemisphere, right? The eastern hemisphere has the Yeti, the western hemisphere has Sasquatch. Now, Sasquatch and Bigfoot, same thing, right? In the same region, same description, I'm counting it as the same being. Now, skunk ape is totally different. The sighting, the pure only sighting that we have is totally different, and it makes a lot of sense, right? So skunk ape falls further south in the Bayou region around northern Florida, even southern Florida and central Florida. And what the skunk ape essentially is this bipedal being that stinks like hell and, sorry, I didn't mean to zoom in on its leg, I'm trying to keep my phone from falling asleep, and just is this weird looking creature. It's a cross between an ape and a bear, okay? And now it's found in the swamps of, like I said, southern Florida, Louisiana, Alabama area. And what's interesting about this thing is that I don't consider it an ape at all. From my research, it's mammalia, and it definitely has a gland that protrudes massive odor for predators to stay away. And I think it's some sort of bear cross. I think it's some sort of a bear who adapted to its environment, and produces a foul-smelling odor to keep away alligators. Because if you look at the number one predator in that area, it's going to be a gator. Now, if this creature called the skunk ape could produce such a potent odor that it gets into the water, it would possibly draw the gators away. Gators do have a keen sense of smell. So I would imagine that would be the purpose for that. Could it exist? Maybe. Again, there's enough food, there's enough water, resources for a creature like that to survive. But I don't classify it as an ape because of the description. One, it's got a wet nose, meaning it's got that black stuff coating its nose that is not a normal epidermi. It's a epidermi that retains and holds moisture in order to regulate body temperature. And more importantly, it regulates the nose as far as making it keen to sense. That's one thing the skunk ape has that the others don't, as well as an extended jowl and an extended jaw, giving it more of a snout so that it's got more pathway for smell to enter. So the skunk ape I don't consider in that group as ape. I consider it more like a bear with some weasel-like adaptations since the smell and other things that it has. It was found on video one time carving into a tree, so it does eat bugs, or it may even eat the bark of the tree, so then it could be leaning more towards ape. But again, so little is known about the skunk ape other than the few sightings we have. I'll just stick to talking about the Sasquatch and Bigfoot and Yeti in this video, and I'll go back to skunk ape in another video. Now, what I really want to talk about is the distinction between Sasquatch, since I said Bigfoot and Sasquatch are the same thing because of the hemispherical difference. The difference between Sasquatch and Yeti. Yeti is spiritual based. It is many times bigger than the Western Bigfoot. Sightings of the Yeti say it's around 12 to 14 feet, whereas the Western cousin of it, Sasquatch, is only about 9 to 10 feet. Okay, still massive creatures we're talking about, right? Both of them are described to have big feet. However, Yeti has adapted and is white in the snowy mountains of the Himalayas, whereas Bigfoot is predominantly brown, as you can see here in the photo. Now, to me, in this photo, it does look like a person wearing some sort of suit, and the reason I say that is because there's a mask cutoff there. I don't see a mouth. Really, it just looks kind of goofy. I don't really know because of the camera quality and technology back then. It's interesting that it's mid-stride like that. as far as looking at its really just its biomechanics, it looks the same as a human. Can't see much muscular structure there. It does have large breasts for reproduction, so that is interesting that they would have included that in a costume. You can kind of see the breasts hanging out there. The breasts are really, really low, though, in conjunction with the biomechanics. Your arms would hit those naturally, so I don't see that being an occurring adaptation as far as adaptation goes. Looking at the leg structure, it's really, really interesting how much, well, a person in a suit, see, you can see the muscular structure in the leg. That's what's interesting me right now. A person in a suit probably wouldn't be able to get away with that. Yeah, you can see the calf muscle, you can see the hamstring, you can see a little bit of the quad, not much, but you can definitely see the protruding glute. That's interesting. I didn't notice that about this photo at first. So that's definitely something to keep in mind as far as looking at this photo. But again, look at that. Look at that face. I mean, that's like Mask 101 right there. I mean, he looks like he's almost wearing a ninja outfit. Again, though, it's possible it's not a mask because, again, and it's possible this photo could have been tampered with as well after coming out. I don't know if this is the original, but I'm just taking this photo as the real one. You could see the muscular structure in the gut as well, which is possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but normally if you had a female, anything this size, it would put on a little bit of substantial weight as far as fat goes around the belly area in order to digest for hibernation. Being like this, again, could have different behaviors. I'm comparing it to a bear right now. But everything looks correct as far as the biomechanics go. Again, the breasts are a little further down, but it does look like it's got a weird hunch in the back, so it might just adapt to that using its hunched back. And its stride looks correct. Again, this could be a tampered with photo. I don't know. But it actually looks as if it's standing over a tree and it's in mid-turn looking at somebody. And that arm swing, I just don't see any creature doing that behavior-wise. Not even a human would do that behavior-wise if it was surprised and startled. If you've ever startled a little kid, I know I used to startle my sister all the time and scare her, but she would immediately throw her arms up in self-defense. If a creature like this was startled, it would definitely do something to that degree. Its arms would not be widespread, mid-turn looking at you. It would immediately dart in one direction, or if you were too close, it would throw its hands up and get ready to fight. So, this photo is debunked for that reason. This is a person in a suit, and this has been basically tampered with as far as the photo goes, because behaviorally, everything has that same natural stance when it comes to fight or flight, and that is not one of them. But anyway, guys, whoa, there goes my ringer. Let me shut that off real quick. Okay. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you could, like and subscribe. It really helps me out and helps me get motivation to post more of these. I know I said I was going to do one last week. Haven't found time. I'm going to school. But I really like talking about these cryptids, and I like the community that follows me. So if you guys could, subscribe, like. I have a Discord out called Anime Talks. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, whatevers. Or if you want to get my personal information, comment down below, #Yeti, and I will give you some personal information in which you can contact me and we can have intellectual conversations about these beings. Alright guys, love you all. Amez the storyteller.